Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and this week again we have 10 incredible watches for you guys and girls, really ranging in price range but also brands. I think there's going to be some brands on the table here today that some of you may never have heard of before, so I think that's going to be interesting for a lot of you. And again, that's what we always try and achieve here at Kibble Watches, and it's thanks to you guys and girls submitting your watches to sell directly to us, to consign with us, or whatever it may be, that we can do such things. So thank you all very, very much. Now, as always, if you want to skip to a specific watch you see here today, you can do so down in the description. Each watch is listed with a link to the website, but also a timestamp, so you can skip all my rambling and go straight to that specific watch. I do also want to apologise if I look a bit hot and sweaty. It is an incredibly hot day today here in London. Well over 30 degrees, which for some countries that sounds like nothing, but the humidity is so unbearable here in the UK that it's very, very difficult. So we've got the aircon on, so there might be some background noise, and yeah, I look the way I look, so I apologise in advance. I do just want to say as well a big thank you, and again we're going to be talking about something a little bit personal here. I'm not going to go into detail because I did last week and I've spoken about it on Instagram as well, but the support for what I went through last week, or what me and my wife went through last week as a family, the support has been incredible, so thank you all so much. You've been absolutely amazing. It's been a very difficult time. The weekend just gone has been very, very tough, and obviously as time goes on we will heal, but again it's still very difficult, and you guys and girls have been very great. You've been very patient with me, and obviously I'm back in work, I'm cracking on. That's what I want to do, and also it is my business, so kind of got to crack on and keep the ball rolling as well. But yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone. You've been absolutely amazing, so thank you. Now, before we dive into the watches on the table, what is on wrist? Now, I'm wearing something that's really, really cool. This is a very, very nice all gold, so this is all 9-carat gold Omega from 1968 with the integrated gold bracelet and the clasp and everything like that. Yeah, this may be coming soon, it may not, we'll see, but it's a really, really cool piece nonetheless, and I think, you know, I think these are very undervalued, especially the prices you can pick stuff like this up at, because again, 9-carat gold, not 18, and maybe the design isn't for everyone, but there's true value on your wrist with something like this. You have the true weight of the gold as the value, as well as obviously the value of the watch itself, which I find kind of interesting, but also I just absolutely love the look of something like this. This is very much my kind of thing personally. I know it's not for everyone, but it is for me. So yeah, hopefully this one will be staying with me. You never know, or at least for a little while. You know what it's like. So there we go. Let's crack on with what you're here to see. We're going to start with the watch in the center. That is this IWC. This is an unworn example. This is an IWC chronograph pilot's watch called the C.03. This was made for collective, and it's a limited edition piece. Very, very cool. Nice grey. And the thing I like most about this one, we'll touch on it in a second as well, is that unless you knew what it was, it just looks like another IWC chronograph, but with a slightly different coloration. I think that's nice, because there's nothing worse than a big logo on the dial or something very blatantly obvious as to what it's representing. So I like it. Let's take a closer look. So starting off this week's episode with this gorgeous IWC pilot's chronograph that you can see right here. Now, at first glance, it does look like a standard IWC chronograph, apart from the dial is slightly darker, the hands are slightly darker, and the loom are all slightly darker and more grey colour, which is really nice, very monochromatic. But it could just be a normal reference, and that's what I find really attractive and fascinating about this. This is the reference C.03, or it's nicknamed the C.03, and it's made for collective, limited to 125 pieces total. That has to be one of the smallest runs IWC have done as far as limited editions go, and it's the reference IW3741, and it was bought out in 2021. This one's December 2021 with its box paperwork and is in unworn condition. There is a couple of storage marks. There's a little scratch just down here where it's been stored over the years, but the sticker remains intact on the back, as you can see, and that nice exhibition case back showcase in the IWC caliber 69385. So yeah, Collective was and still is a group of collectors who sort of came together and made limited editions, and they were exclusive only to the members of the club. Now, as they've grown, they've started to do a few other things over the years, but for the most part they've remained relatively the same in regards to that, and this is one of those really wonderful early collections they did, where the group was actually a hell of a lot smaller than it is today, and it truly was very difficult to get involved in and sort of get into, and this is from back then. But let's show this one on wrist and taut dimensions. And there we go on my 7-inch wrist. Very, very comfortable, not too big at all. I've always been amazed by how well these big pilots, or not big pilots, these pilots actually wear. So this is 41mm by 51.5mm lug to lug, 14mm thick and 20mm on the lug, so endless options, but the strap pairing works perfectly for the watch. So go check this one out on the website today. From one IWC to another, this is amazing. I absolutely love this model. I've seen it many times over the years, but this is the first one I've stocked, and this is an IWC Flieger chronograph, quartz 36mm, and it's the quartz chrono on its original IWC bracelet. These are the things. So these are incredibly comfortable, super supple, and I think if you can buy one on the bracelet, buy it on the bracelet, wear it on the bracelet, enjoy it, but also do try out straps as well. It's great on that. So let's take a closer look. Now on to something you really don't see often at all. This is the IWC Flieger chronograph quartz in 36mm. What a great size and great looking watch. This is an early piece, as you can tell by the loom. It's a tritium piece from the circa 1990s. It does come with its box. Now that box, as usual with these 1990s boxes, they get very sticky, but someone has removed that sticky layer off the box and it's taken away a bit of the logo, so it's smudged. But you can still see it there, and it's still the original box, but that's something just to keep in mind. It does have a couple of additional links as well, and the watch is worn. We can get it polished for you, and we can see if we can find or source a new crystal, because the crystal does have a couple of marks here and there. But to be honest, I kind of like the wear, and I think it goes with the overall design of the watch. You know, having a couple of scratches here and there add to it for me personally, and I know that's not the case for everyone, so we give you that option if you so desire. Obviously, an additional cost and additional time frame, we'd have to inquire on how long and how much that would be. But this is the reference IW3741. As I say, circa 1990s for this piece. And inside is actually a JLC Mecha Quartz chronograph. Right now it's paired on its original bracelet, which is super soft, super comfortable. And it's pressure fit, so you just pull it open like so. Nice simple plain case back with the engravings on there, as you can see. But overall, a really wonderful piece and really great size as well. And obviously being Mecha Quartz, as you start it, the chronograph appears mechanical. Obviously you can see the seconds down at 6 o'clock ticking away, whereas this is sweeping away like a mechanical watch, and as you reset it, it flies back nice and snip and snap, as you can see. So let's show this one on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. As you can see, really nice design, really, really great look, and the proportions, in my opinion, are absolutely perfect. So this is 36mm by 43.5mm lug to lug, 10.5mm thick and 18mm on the lug. So endless options for straps, and this really does look great on leather straps, NATO straps, you name it. This is one of those strap monsters, and you can see exactly why just in the design. So go check it out on the website today. From there over to an unworn Tudor Black Bay GMT steel and gold with the root beer coloration on the bezel. This has all of its stickers still present. Yeah, you're not going to find better than this, and it also comes with an unworn IWC leather strap in the box as well. So not only do you get the watch and the bracelet, but you also get the leather strap, which obviously Tudor stopped doing long ago. There used to be a time where you'd get an additional strap with your purchase, but not anymore. So now's your opportunity to still get that in some way. So let's take a closer look. Now onto the Tudor Black Bay steel and gold GMT, as you can see, with the root beer coloration in the bezel. Really, really great looking piece. And this definitely did very well straight out of retail, and prices have now settled down a bit, which is good, and you can pick them up for good prices. So specifically, this is the reference 79833MN, and this one's from September 2022, and it's in unworn condition. Stickers still present on the side of the case, as you can see. It's in very, very good unworn condition. There appears to be scratches on the case back, but it's not. It's scratches on the sticker itself, so don't worry there. Now, in terms of what's actually gold, this is something just to make a note of, and it's mentioned by Tudor themselves as well anyway, but just so people know. The bezel and the crown are solid 18 karat gold, and the end link on the bracelet, and then the rest of it is gold capped, so it's a solid sleeve of 18 karat gold around a steel core essentially. So it's like extremely thick gold plating. That's kind of how to sort of see it. So you still got solid gold in there, but just not all the way through. And that just means the price isn't as crazy, because obviously that would be a lot of gold and they'd be charging a hell of a lot more if that was the case. And inside behind that case back is the automatic Tudor caliber MT5652, in-house movement with dates, GMT function and everything, as you can see. But But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. Now, as I mentioned, this one is from September 2022 with its box and papers. It also comes with an unworn Tudor leather strap, which is still stickered as well. So you've got both options, which is nice. And obviously it comes with all of its links as you'd expect as well. So this is 41mm by 50mm lug to lug, 14mm thick and 22mm on the lugs. So go check this one out on the website today. Now onto a watch you really do not see often, and it's incredible. This is a Speake-Marin. Again, I probably butcher the pronunciation, so I apologise in advance. That's how I'm going to say it. If it's wrong, I do apologise. But Speake-Marin Piccadilly Serpent Calendar Blue. This is a wonderful watch. Really, really nice, really cool design, and definitely out there. I think if you like this kind of thing, this is going to be right up your alley, and again, the value is pretty damn good as well. So let's take a closer look. Now on to Speake-Marin, as you can see, and this is the Piccadilly Serpent Blue calendar, which is really, really great. You've got those white Roman numerals, very reminiscent of a clock, these big bold lugs, the big bold crown, and you've got the serpent hand right there pointing at the inner pointer date, which is really, really nicely done. So as I say, this is called the Piccadilly. You have stated right there proudly on the case back, and a really, really great looking watch altogether. The reference is 10006-04. This watch is from circa 2015 with its box and a recertificated paperwork by Speake-Marin, as you will see on the box photos and also the additional photos under points of mention. And as we flip it over, you see an automatic hybrid voucher or voucher, however you pronounce it, 3002, with a heavily modified rotor, which is absolutely gorgeous and a hell of a lot of fun. Really beautiful movement, and this is actually the movement that's in the Aquadive that we'll have a look at, apart from it was done by Parmigiani as well. So really, really cool little feature right there. It does come with its original strap and original buckle. This is the original buckle, and this is a aftermarket strap, but a really high quality, nice strap. So you've got both options there as well. But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And there we go on my 7-inch wrist. Yes, it's a big watch, but it's meant to be, and it also wears very, very uniquely with those straight sort of funky lugs that poke out, kind of like a converted pocket watch almost. Very, very unique. So what you're looking at is 42mm by 53mm lug to lug, 10.5mm thick and 20mm at the lugs. So endless options, but really great design. Something a bit different and something you don't see every day. So go check it out on the website today. Now onto a Aquadive. This is a brand that maybe you've heard of, maybe you've not. They do incredible dive watches, but this isn't just any Aquadive. This is the Bathysphere 500 Fluoro twin barrel. Now what makes this one so special is it's an Aquadive. It's built like a tank, but as you flip it over, the movement inside is incredible. That is a movement made with Parmigiani. So you can't really get much better than that, especially this kind of price range, that's for sure. So it's kind of amazing, really, what a juxtaposition it really is to have something big, bulky, sort of tool watch, and then something beautiful and elegant on the opposite side. I think it's kind of cool. So let's take a closer look at this one. Now on to something really special with this Aquadive Bathysphere 500, that's a mouthful. Twin rotor, really, really beautiful piece. And as we flip it over, we're going to go straight onto twin barrel, sorry, I don't know why I said twin rotor, but twin barrel. And we're going to start with our movement, because it amazes me that for such an industrial and heavy duty design, you have such an elegant and beautiful movement right there. So that's a voucher and Parmigiani twin barrel movement. So it's got two barrels in there for a longer power reserve, which is really, really nice. And again, beautifully done. And such a sort of opposite to what you'd expect to be in such a watch, and I think that's what makes it so special as well. Now I won't bore you with the reference. This one is quite a long reference. You can go see that on the website. And this one's from January 2015. It doesn't come with its original box, unfortunately, but it comes with its original CD and little card and everything like that, as you can see from the photos. You have this loomed bezel, really nice loom on the dial as well. Overall, just built like a absolute tank and a machine. Screw down crown. Comes on its original rubber strap as well, which is super soft and comfortable, whilst also being incredibly thick. They've just done a really good job all round with this watch. And as I say, this is kind of one of those showpieces where you have something so big, bulky, monstrous, but then also something so elegant and beautiful on the opposite side. Just not something you see often. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. As you can see, it's a big watch, but it wears really comfortably thanks to the sort of C or cushion case that you see right there. It always wears better with a case like that. So 43mm by 49mm lug to lug, 12mm thick, which is surprisingly thin because it is quite a thick watch and a big watch, but it wears really low to the wrist thanks to that movement, and 22mm on the lugs, so endless options for something a bit different if you're not wanting the rubber, but I think it works really well. So go check it out on the website today. Now onto a Longines Heritage Military Automatic. This was a sort of special edition watch they did for a while. I believe it's not made anymore, could be wrong on that, but this is 2019. Each dial is unique because it has unique speckling. It's done by either hand or a machine, but it's random, so hopefully that makes sense. It's like a forced patina in some way, but I think it's really, really cool. This was done, I believe, with collaboration of Vintage Longines. The guy on Instagram, he's a good guy, and yeah, it's a cool piece. Let's take a close look. Now onto Longines right here with the Longines Heritage Military. As you can see, the automatic. This is a really, really cool watch. The reference is L2.819.4.93.2. Very long reference, thank you Longines. And this one's from March 2019. It does come with its box and paperwork, and its box is this big, beautiful wooden box. It comes with a Legend Diver or a military book inside as well, which is not opened. You can see that in the photos. And it also comes with its Longines leather strap, as well as this Longines single pass NATO, which is really nice and very reminiscent of what these would have originally come on as well. So inside, beating away, is an automatic Longines caliber L888, and as you can see, that dial is super unique with the speckling. It's almost like an egg, like an eggshell with the speckling. I think it's really attractive, really nice, and it does emulate a vintage watch, and that's what they've obviously tried to achieve, and I think they've done a really good job of it. You've got a nice big crown over here, and this is 38.5mm. We'll talk more about the dimensions on wrist, but the dimensions are basically the original ones, just blown up to modern day proportions, and I think they've done it relatively well. You know, a lot of brands, they want to just go as big as possible and they just keep getting it wrong. Longines, they did well here. Would I like to see a smaller one? Yeah, always, absolutely, but I still think this is really nicely done. I think they did actually do a smaller one, but let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And there we go on my 7-inch wrist, as you can see, with the single pass NATO. It's definitely a good look. So 38.5mm by 47mm lug to lug, 11mm thick, obviously extra thickness added with the NATO, but not as much as usual because it is a single pass, so there's only one piece of fabric behind this, as opposed to usually have obviously more than that. So that is that, and 19mm on the lug, so a little bit awkward, but there are options out there, and it also comes obviously with this NATO and a leather strap, so you've already got 2 options straight out of the box. But go check this one out on the website today. Now onto a very unique watch, and some will be surprised to know this is Omega. What you're looking at right here is a very cool 1986 Omega Seamaster Dynamic 2 Spider, as it's called, with the most unique case. Let's take a closer look at this. Next up is an Omega you really do not see often, and we're going to get the battery changed obviously straight after this video, but in the name of efficiency, I'm getting this done first and then getting it done afterwards, so apologies, it won't be ticking in the video, but rest assured, obviously it will have a fresh battery, warranty, all that kind of stuff as usual. But this is the reference 196.0301, and this is the Dynamic 2 Spider, as it's called. And I think the reason for that is the case itself and the dial. Everything's like a spider web. You've got that beautiful red impact there on the dial, and the most interesting thing about this is the shape of the case and the profile. You can see it's actually slanted from the sides, so it's more higher at the top than it is at the bottom, which creates a really unique wearing experience, but also just a unique look, as you can see from different profiles. Really something spectacular right there. Now inside this is a quartz Omega caliber 1430, and this is from circa 1986, so definitely a period, definitely a watch of its age from the 80s, and I absolutely love that personally. Really small Omega crown right there, that's recessed into the case. You do have to really get your nails in there to take out the crown and use it, so do keep that in mind. It comes on its original bracelet with a nice big Omega clasp for extra space, and as we open that up, you can see it's quite tight clasp as well, which is a good thing, and you can see the case back right there, as such even. But let's show this one on wrist, because that's where it's really unique, and talk dimensions. And there we go on my 7-inch wrist, as you can see. So dimensions wise, we're looking at 33.5mm by 48mm lug to lug. Now for some people, they'll hear that size and they'll go, that's too small. I don't know, I think that's supposed to wear like how it does, and it just looks really, really good on wrist. I don't think it's too small at all, but obviously you be the judge of that for yourself. 7mm thick and 20mm at the lugs, tapering down slightly towards the clasp. And I think that helps with the size because you've got 20mm bracelet coming off the case that is 33.5mm, so it all looks in proportion in my opinion. So check this one out on the website today. Now on to probably my favourite on the table, just because again it's not something you see often and again it's surprising. So this is a Dunhill large tank, as we would call it, called 1907, and it's manually wound. It's from 95 and it comes with its box papers, original strap and original swing tag as well. It's in fantastic condition, probably worn a couple of times at most. Yeah, really wonderful. And again, to get this kind of design, and Dunhill, which is definitely a, you know, a prestigious brand in terms of what they do, I think is really cool. So let's take a closer look at this. For a brand you really don't see often with Dunhill, I've had a few over the years and I've bought and sold quite a few that never made it to the website because there seems to be actually be quite a good collecting community for them. But this is the reference DU1907AS. And what makes this one so special is obviously it's like a Cartier tank in its size and appearance. It's actually a large size, which is is really, really cool, but it is manually wound. So as we flip it over, you'll see a nicely decorated Dunhill caseback right there. The beaten away inside is a manually wound ETA caliber 2660. So they've gone with a really good high quality movement, and the dial is spectacular as well, with those Breguet style nicely curved numerals around the outside, and then a minute track and just an hour and minute hand right there with the elegant Dunhill logo. It's one of my favourite logos, with all those elongated, very art deco in its design. I think it's fantastic. So this one's from June 1995 with its box and paperwork. As I say, it comes paired on its original Dunhill leather strap, and it comes with its Dunhill swing tag as well. This watch has been well looked after, original Dunhill buckle, all nice and very, very great. The crystal is sort of curved as well, which you don't see often, and what it does, it creates like a little illusion with the dial where it goes different colours and shimmers really nicely. But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And there we go, comfortably on my 7-inch wrist. That is one good looking watch right there. So what you're looking at dimension wise is 25.5mm by 42mm lug to lug. That's a good size. 9mm thick and 16.5mm on the lugs. Yes, you heard that right. A little awkward. You either got to squeeze on a 17 or a 16 will be just fine if you want to swap this out. But to be honest, the strap is actually in pretty good condition. You could totally wear it on this, and I think it kind of suits the watch anyway. So go check this one out on the website today. Now on to the final two on the table, and I mean you'd be hard pressed to miss them because of the bright colours and the unique designs. They are both isotopes, and we're going to start with this one over here. This is a very, very cool isotope Hydrium X, the Exit as it's called, green limited edition to 100, and you'll see why it's called the Exit in a second. So let's take a closer look. Now on to the isotope Hydrium X Exit as it's called, and this is a really cool watch. It's a lot of fun. It won't be for everyone, and that's perfectly fine. And as I say many times, that's the whole point of watches. You buy what you like, and to a lot of people out there, they are going to like this, and a lot of people aren't, and that's completely fine. So this is the Exit, and as we take a closer look at that dial, hopefully you can see it, there is the Exit symbol, which we see above doors here in the UK for an emergency exit, right there on the dial. And also the second hand is a really small arrow that goes around obviously with the seconds, which is really, really cool. All these little features I think are really nice, little nods. You have that green colour, which is symbolic of the Exit sign itself, with the all green bezel. And again, it gets even cooler because that dial, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this, probably not, is all loomed. So the whole dial is loomed, which again, really, really cool. So the opposite of what you expect when you loom hands and indices, you look out for that. When you've got a full loomed watch, you're looking at the negative space, if that makes sense, when it's dark, to tell the time. So yeah, very, very cool. I won't bore you with the reference because again, they have a weird long reference number, but it's limited to 100. It is unworn, it's still got its stickers, and inside, as we flip it over behind that caseback, or exhibition caseback, sorry, is the automatic Landeron caliber 24. Now, as I've said before, these are really great movements, but you do have to give them a really good wind before you get going, and the rotor will then obviously do the rest of the work, but always giving them a good wind before you set off is best. August 2023 with its box and paperwork. It comes paired on its original strap, as you can see, which is really nice bright orange on the underside, and let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. So here we go, rested on my 7-inch wrist. These are not small watches, but they wear really well, and they are very, very unique, that's for sure. So this is 40mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, 14.5mm thick and 22mm on the lugs. So go check this one out on the website today. And finally, the Isotope Hydrium X, and this one's called the Judge, with its beautiful sort of deep red, orangey colour with the hands as well. A very unique looking watch. Let's take a closer look. And now for the Isotope Hydrium X, the Judge, as it's called. Again, another one limited to 100 pieces, just like the Exit we looked at. And this time you've got this really dark black dial with the vibrant and deep red, almost orange bezel and hands, and right there the little lock as well on the second hand. Very, very cool. And all done for a reason, which you can read on the website, on our website or their website. Nice signed screw down crown, really nice bead blasted case all the way around. And as we flip it over, you'll see again an exhibition case back featuring the same movement as the other one, which is the Landeron 24. Again, I'll say it as I did the last one, they're great movements, but give them a real good wind by the crown before you get going, just to give it that initial boost, because I have noticed that if you don't do that, the rotor struggles at the start to keep up with the power, but eventually it obviously does if there's enough power. This one's from March 2023 with its box and paperwork, paired on its original black rubber strap, also unworn, also with its sticker on the back and also the front, but I've taken it off for this short video. So let's show this one on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go, paired on my 7-inch wrist, the same as the other one, at 40mm by 47mm lug to lug, 14.5mm thick and 22mm on the lugs. So go check this one out on the website today. So there you have it, guys and girls, 10 incredible watches this week. I apologise if it's not been as enthusiastic as usual. The heat is definitely getting to me. I think I need to have a little lie down. I feel so old. But yes, it's another great drop, another great varied 10 pieces, and I think really something for everyone here, from vintage to modern. And as always, don't forget to check out the rest of the website. There's over 100 watches usually in stock at any given moment on there, always ranging from entry-level affordable Seiko up to Patek Philippe and Rolex and everything you could possibly imagine in between, as well as unique brands you've probably never heard of. So be sure to have a scroll through there, make it part of your part of your morning routine to sit and scroll through with a cup of tea or coffee. I know some of you do, so thank you all very much. But we'll see you all again next week. There is another 10 incredible watches. I think you guys and girls are going to really like that one. So we'll see you then. Take care.